The interval between 1 and 3 is 2 steps, and the interval between 3 and 5 is a step and a half, which is a minor third. This is a major third, excuse me. This is a major third, this is a minor third, and this is a minor third. That's the distances between the notes in the dominant chord that we're playing. 1, 3, 5, and flat 7. So if I move this note up 1 to C sharp, I now have, because I have moved the C closer to E, I have a minor third, and a minor third. And interestingly enough, minor third going to the C sharp here. So my distances are now minor third, minor third, minor third, and minor third back to 1. And this is that chord. If I take the C7 chord, you probably thought about that. We're leaving off these lowest 2 notes and playing 7, 3, excuse me, flat 7, 3, 5, and 1. If I raise the 1, I've got a diminished chord. Okay, you all know that, you may know that if you move this, or excuse me, if you move this to here, and here, and here, it's all the same chord because all these notes are the same distance apart. The fact that moving 1 note in a dominant chord gives me a diminished chord, and that all the diminished chords are related, then gives me a special relationship between all dominant chords, which means the notes kind of become a free-for-all. Raising 1 note, going the opposite direction with any other note, gives us a 7 chord of that note. Okay, so all of these diminished chords are related to all these dominant chords, and dominant chords are unique in a key. So doesn't it seem that if they're sharing 3/4 of each other, it's going to give a lot of possibilities to what you could play solo-wise in relationship to this chord even, or this chord. Because if I have an F7 chord, it has a relationship with other dominant chords that's unique. So that means my 1 and its friends, the 3, and the flat 3, and the 2, and the flat 9, and the root, and the major 7, and the flat 7, and the 6, and the sharp 5, and the 5, and the flat 5. Just think of all of them as friends. So the question gets asked, how do I solo Mixolydian? How do I think Mixolydian? I'm thinking of it as my 1 here, and 3, and 5, and flat 7. 1, 3, 5, flat 7, and 1, and 3. And knowing that map everywhere else gives me the important notes, and then all the others I hope I can fill in with melodic something to choose the appropriate note. So the somethingness of melody. That should be the title of this video, the somethingness of melody. You know where the good notes are, you know where the bad ones are, and you learn how to put them in there. Okay, so if I have this group of notes, which seems limitless, and it is, of the relationships to this note as 1, and I know that that dominant chord, that is that chord, the C7, has got some wacky relationships going on with all the other notes on the instrument, then I can kind of play any of them. And keep the same Mixolydian flavor, even though I've strayed from the Mixolydian scale, in truth. I played a flat 9 and a flat 3. Those aren't in the Mixolydian scale, but because of the intertwinings of all these chords that are symmetrical, it just gives you all kinds of things to play. That's kind of the scale I'm thinking of, is 1 and its associates, and